हेलो मेरे सीए फाउंडेशन के बच्चों, ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ चार्टर्ड स्टडीज एकेडमी आई डिंपल शाह ब्रिंग टू यू द सॉल्यूशन वीडियो ऑफ टुडेज सीए फाउंडेशन लॉ पेपर। चलो फटाफट शुरू करते हैं। देखो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन था, एबीसी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाज रनिंग बिजनेस सक्सेसफुली। पी थे उधर के परचेज मैनेजर, पी के एजेंट थे क्यू। पी ने कहा क्यू को कि रॉ मटेरियल लेके आओ ऑफ मजबूत ब्रांड ऑफ सीमेंट एट 2000 to 2500 rupees per ton. Q bought 1000 ton of Mazboot brand of cement from Mr. R, but at the price of rupees 3500 per ton. अभी क्या हुआ is that further Mr. Q has not disclosed the fact to R that he is buying cement for ABC company. When P discovered this aspect, he refused to pay Mr. R and he rejected the cement bought by Q on the ground that Q has exceeded the authority. दो क्वेश्चन पूछे गए, whether P was bound to pay Mr. R for the cement purchased by his agent Q, and secondly, on the other hand, Q being the agent refused to accept the liability. So whether R can file a suit against Q. First point, Mr. Q as an agent has exceeded his authority. Secondly, उन्होंने अपने प्रिंसिपल का नाम डिस्क्लोज नहीं किया था. When the agent does not disclose the name of the principal, then there arises a presumption that he himself undertakes to be personally liable. Thirdly, the agent, when the misrepresentation is made or frauds are committed by the agent in matters which do not fall within their authority, जैसे कि इस केस में उन्होंने exceed किया ना अपनी अथॉरिटी को, इसीलिए that will not affect the principal. So coming to the questions, whether P was bound to pay Mr. R, no, P was not bound to pay Mr. R because his agent has exceeded the authority. Secondly, whether Mr. R can file a suit against Q, yes, he can file a suit against Q for exceeding his authority. Done. Now question number 1B, state with reasons whether the following can be treated as small companies. Small company की आपकी लिमिट क्या है? वो प्राइवेट कंपनी होनी चाहिए एंड पेड अप शेयर कैपिटल नॉट मोर देन 4 करोड़ एंड टर्नओवर नॉट मोर देन 40 करोड़ एंड इट कैन नॉट बी अ होल्डिंग और सब्सिडियरी कंपनी एंड सेक्शनरी कंपनी. अभी ये देखो, एसटीएस प्राइवेट लिमिटेड टर्नओवर ऑफ 10 करोड़ विद इन 40 करोड़, ठीक है. पेड अप शेयर कैपिटल ऑफ 1 करोड़ लेस देन 4 करोड़, करेक्ट. Out of these 60,000 equity shares are held by UV Infratech Private Limited. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि STS Private Limited हो जाती है एक सब्सिडरी कंपनी, है कि नहीं? मोर देन 50% है हमारी UV Infratech के पास. Since STS Private Limited is a subsidiary company, it cannot be a small company. Secondly, ZX Limited paid up share capital of 3 crore, turnover of 35 crore. लिमिट के अंदर है, ठीक है. ZX Limited है ये भाई, पब्लिक लिमिटेड कंपनी है, पब्लिक कंपनी है ये, बिकॉज इफ द वर्ड्स लिमिटेड देयर, प्राइवेट नहीं लिखा, पब्लिक कंपनी नहीं बन सकती है एक स्मॉल कंपनी, इसलिए ये भी एक स्मॉल कंपनी नहीं होगी. अगले क्वेश्चन पे अगर हम देखें, द पेड अप इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल ऑफ एसीडी लिमिटेड इज 80 करोड़ एंड प्रेफरेंस शेयर कैपिटल ऑफ 20 करोड़, यानी कि टोटल अगर आप पेड अप शेयर कैपिटल देखो तो वो 100, इक्विटी प्लस प्रेफरेंस आपका 100 करोड़ हो जाता है, राइट. 80 प्लस 20. Now, B Limited holds equity shares in ACD Limited worth 15 crore and preference shares worth 10 crore. हमें पता है कि इसका एटलीस्ट 20% they should be holding to be an associate company. वही आपके प्रोविजंस कहते हैं कि नहीं? Significant influence यानी कि which means control of at least 20% of total voting power or participation in business decisions. तो हम शेयर कैपिटल को कंसिडर करते हैं. Now 20% होगा आपका 20 करोड़ in this case. Now the क्वेश्चन हियर इज देयर इज एन एम्बिग्विटी कि हम जब प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स कंसीडर करते हैं तो वो कन्वर्टेबल प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स होने चाहिए, एंड इधर आपको क्लियरली बताया नहीं गया कि कन्वर्टेबल प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स है कि नहीं. तो इक्विटी शेयर्स की अगर हम बात करें तो कंसिडरिंग इक्विटी शेयर्स यू वुड राइट दैट सिंस इट इज नॉट स्पेसिफाइड कि कन्वर्टेबल प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स है कि नहीं, अगर हम इक्विटी शेयर्स को कंसिडर करें इट इज नॉट 20%, इट इज लेस देन 20% एंड दस बी लिमिटेड इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी एन एसोसिएट कंपनी. सो इधर एक एम्बिग्विटी है ये क्वेश्चन पे, there is थोड़ा डाउट. ओके, सो इट वुड डिपेंड ऑन बच्चे ये क्वेश्चन को कैसे, किस ट्रीटमेंट कैसे लिखे. अगर आपने assumption लिखा है then that will be correct, but you'll have to write an assumption कि assuming these preferences are convertible in that case, and if you've not written, अगर आपने assume किया कि preferences convertible है then of course it is B Limited will be an associate company. अगर आपने assume किया है कि preferences convertible नहीं है तो वो associate company नहीं होती. ओके, बाकी के ये तो थियोरी क्वेश्चन थे आपके. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन 2A पे बढ़ते हैं. एस परचेज अ ड्रेस फ्रॉम अ रेप्यूटेड शोरूम एंड मेड द पेमेंट इन कैश. ड्रेस रिक्वायर्ड सम ऑल्टरेशन, इसलिए द शॉपकीपर assured एस दैट इट वुड टेक जस्ट 1 day to get the dress ready. It was agreed that once the dress was altered, the shopkeeper would inform S through phone and she would collect the dress. Next day by evening, the dress was altered and kept ready to be delivered to us. Shopkeeper forgot to inform us. Ready था, सब कुछ था, but shopkeeper forgot to inform us that the dress was ready. In the meantime, short circuit happened after waiting for 10 days. S went to collect her dress. What happened is, उसको पता चल कि dress तो जल गया है. S then asked for a refund for money what she paid. Shopkeeper refused by saying that the dress was kept ready and the loss occurred due to a fire after a week. He refused to bear the liability by saying that if S had collected the dress on time, it would have not been burned. But उन्होंने फोन किया नहीं था, उनकी गलती भी तो है ना. So S insisted that she was waiting for a call from the shop and thus entitled to claim the refund of cost of dress. Examined with reference to the provisions of Sales of Goods Act 1930, whether the shopkeeper will be liable to refund the cost of the dress to S. Okay. Now, there's an exception to the rule that risk follows ownership, provides that where the delivery of goods has been delayed through the fault of either the buyer or the seller, the goods are at risk of the party in fault as regards of any loss which might not have occurred but for such fault. यानी कि इस केस में मिस्टर हमारे जो शॉपकीपर है उनको एस को रिफंड देना पड़ेगा. शी इज लायबल फॉर अ रिफंड. whether the shopkeeper will be liable for refund. Yes, the shopkeeper is going to be liable for refund. S को refund मिलना चाहिए because उनकी गलती है, उन्होंने फोन नहीं किया था उनको. That was a part of it. That is why, so we clearly know that risk follows ownership. का exception ये है that where the delivery of goods has been delayed because of the fault by the buyer or the seller, either case. Okay, delivery delay हुई थी इस केस में seller की वजह से, इसलिए उनको वो cost bear करना पड़ेगा, refund देना पड़ेगा. बाकी की ये थियरी क्वेश्चन है तो लेट्स स्किप दिस. ये भी आपका थियरी क्वेश्चन था. नाउ कमिंग टू दिस क्वेश्चन 2C2, राजू एंड हिज फ्रेंड अनिल हैव अप्रोच्ड यू टू हेल्प देम टू फॉर्म एन एलएलपी. ठीक है भाई, एडवाइस दे देंगे, बट द ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ द प्रपोज्ड एलएलपी इज टू रन अ चैरिटेबल स्कूल व्हिच प्रोवाइड्स फ्री एजुकेशन टू पुअर चिल्ड्रन. व्हाट वुड बी योर सजेशन? देखो भाई, business for profit only, यानी कि the essential requirement for forming an LLP is carrying on a lawful business with a view to earn profit. An LLP cannot be formed for charitable or non-economic purposes. ये clearly कहा गया है आपके मॉड्यूल में. इसीलिए ये जो है राजू और उनके फ्रेंड अनिल, they cannot form this LLP for a charitable as per the provisions of the LLP Act 2008. चलो क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 पे बढ़ते हैं. ABC and Company is a renowned partnership firm which is doing business in textile industry for the last 20 years. Due to technical upgradation, उनके heavy debts थे of 50 lakh. To maintain the integrity of the firm, they introduced Mr. D as a new partner. Before admission of D, ABC decided on their own. They made an agreement with the creditors that their new partner will be liable for existing debt through novation. When D joins, he came to know about the debt of 50 lakh. तो आपका इस फेस में whether D would be liable for the debts of the firm incurred prior to his admission by virtue of the agreement between A, B, C and the creditors. देखो भाई, डी का कंसेंट लिया नहीं गया है, राइट? डी को किसी ने बताया ही नहीं. ये देखो आपका मॉड्यूल कहता है द लायबिलिटी ऑफ द न्यू पार्टनर कमेंसेस ऑन द डेट व्हेन ही इज एडमिटेड एज अ पार्टनर अनलेस ही एग्रीज टू बी लायबल फॉर ऑब्लिगेशंस इनकर्ड बाय द फर्म प्रायर टू द डेट, राइट? सो उन्होंने कुछ अग्रीमेंट दिया ही नहीं. ही हैज नॉट कंसेंटेड द फैक्ट कि भाई ठीक है आप मेरा ले लो, मैं प्रायर डेट्स फिल करूंगा. सो वेदर ही विल बी लायबल? नो, ही विल नॉट बी लायबल. इफ डी वाज अ माइनर, क्या वो लायबल होंगे? नो, अगेन माइनर के केस में भी वो लायबल नहीं होंगे. Lastly, whether D would be liable to pay the debt upon becoming a major? Yes, in this case. A minor on attaining majority decides to become a partner, then he is liable for all the act of the firm done since he was admitted. यानी कि जब वो माइनर थे तभी एडमिट हुए थे, राइट? तो जब वो मेजर बने, he decided to become a partner, so yes, he will be liable for the previous as well after becoming a major. Okay. Now coming to the next question, object clause of MOA of ABC authorized the company to carry on the business of trading in property in Gurgaon. Since the company was not doing well, they wanted to diversify the business and enter into construction business. For this purpose, they borrowed 5 crore. Members of the company did not approve the decision. What is the recourse available to Magnum Finance Limited for the recovery of loan? Doctrine of ultra vires हो जाता है इधर, right? Memorandum के बाहर जाके more than they have exceeded the powers again. Okay. Impact of doctrine of ultra vires is that the company can neither be sued on an ultra vires transaction nor can it sue on it. Memorandum is a public document open for public inspection. When one deals with the company, he is deemed to know about the powers of the company. If in spite of this you enter into transaction which is ultra vires, इनका बिजनेस था प्रॉपर्टी का, उन्होंने लोन लिया है फॉर कंस्ट्रक्शन, अल्ट्रा वायर्स है, डेफिनेटली है, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट अलाउड एज पर द ऑब्जेक्ट क्लॉज ऑफ द मेमोरेंडम. सो यू कैन नॉट एनफोर्स इट अगेंस्ट द कंपनी. वो कंपनी से तो मैग्नम रिकवर नहीं कर पाएंगे. डायरेक्टर से कर ले वो अलग बात है, वो पर्सनली कर ले वो अलग बात है. कंपनी से तो वो रिकोर्स नहीं ले पाएंगे. दे कैन नॉट रिकवर द लोन फ्रॉम द कंपनी. Okay, coming to the next question. S&M Limited was registered in 2021 with a share capital of 50 lakh divided into 5 lakh equity shares of 10 each under section 8 of the Companies Act 2013 for promotion of art. Okay, later on क्या हुआ? They have passed a special resolution in the EGM for what to distribute 10% dividend to the equity shareholders. Whether they can declare dividend at 10% to equity shareholders, but ये एक section 8 company है. Section 8 company does not declare dividend to the members and thus it cannot declare dividend. Clearly, right? Okay, ये आपका theory question. Coming to the next question. X was running a business of car on lease. One fine day, Y came to hire a car for 10 days for his business tour from Delhi to Amritsar. X offered him Honda City of 50,000 for 10 days. ठीक है, during the journey what happened is Y had to spend 10,000 for the repair of engine. फिर क्या हुआ? Brakes of the car were not working. Major accident happened due to this. Y was admitted and he had to pay a bill of 50,000 on. Okay, he had to pay a bill of 50,000 to the hospital on recovery. Y asked X to compensate him for the car repair and the hospital bills amounting to 60,000. X ने deny कर दिया क्योंकि उनको पता ही नहीं था कि engine और brakes fail हुए. Y filed a suit against X for recovery. Whether Y can withhold the amount of higher charges of 50,000 on account of non-payment of those damages, whether X has liable to pay the damage because he was not aware. देखो भाई, in case of non-gratuitous bailment, if the goods are bailed for hire, the bailer is responsible for damage whether he was or was not aware of the existence of such faults in the goods bailed. Secondly, the bailer is liable to pay the extraordinary expenses incurred by the bail. So, coming to your question, whether Y can withhold it, yes, he can withhold it. Whether X was liable to pay damage as he was not aware, even if he was not aware, he is liable to pay the damages, both that 50,000 of hospital bills plus the 10,000 which Y had spent. 60,000 वो उनको पे करना पड़ेगा as damages. Okay, ये है आपका theory question. आगे बढ़ते हैं to your fifth question. Fifth A1. P sold certain antique items to Q for 3 lakh on 13 December 2024. As per terms of agreement, 75 was to be paid within a week, balance 25 till 31st December. Q appointed his agent R to take the delivery of goods after payment of first installment. Q ने दिए सिर्फ 2,80,000, देने थे उनको 3 lakh on 31st December. He paid only 2,80,000 on 18 December that, which was credited in P's account on the same date. R failed to take the delivery of due to medical emergencies. By the time Q failed to make the payment of the second installment till 31st of December. Then Q's agent came to take the delivery of goods on 10th of January, but P refused to deliver the goods and exercise his right of leave. Okay, क्या ये justified है in exercising the right of leave? Only because of that 20,000 was left to be paid. Only 20,000 का case doesn't matter. वो 20,000 हो, 10,000 हो कि 1,000. Okay, ये देख लो. Unpaid seller है वो. इस case में so an unpaid seller has a right of lien on the goods for the price while he is in possession until the payment or tender of the price of such goods is done. It is a right to retain the possession of the goods and refusal to deliver them to the buyer until the price in respect of them is paid or rendered. He can exercise the right in this case where the goods have been sold on credit but the terms of credit have expired. So, can Mr. P, whether he is justified? Yes, he is justified. Even if it is a mere amount of 20,000, he is justified. Next question. Auction takes place in Delhi for antique items. Notify that bidders, the sale will be completed when the hammer happens, when the hammer hits the table, and the announcement that you are the highest bidder happens. दोनों होने चाहिए for the bid to happen. During the auction पता चला कि 8 लाख का कुछ था, hammer falls. Announcement नहीं हुआ था. Now what happened is it was notified to everyone that there is an unexpected rise in the prices and therefore the auction was cancelled. L contended that the auctioneer is bound to sell the sculpture to him at the price he bid because once he bid at the highest price in the auction and the hammer fell, the auction sale was completed. Discuss the validity of L's claim. देखो भाई, आपके auction sale के rules कहते हैं आपको कि कहाँ गया? ये देखो, the sale is complete when the auctioneer announces its completion by the fall of hammer or in any other customary manner until the announcement is made. Any bidder may retract from his bid. Okay, तो इस केस में आपके दोनों नेसेसरी थे. एक तो वो hammer hitting the table and secondly announcing that you are the highest bidder. Announcement हुआ ही नहीं था. That is why L's claim in reference to the provision of the Sale of Goods Act is invalid. L's claim is invalid and the auctioneer is not bound to sell the goods to him. ठीक है, ये हो गया आपके थियरी क्वेश्चन, थियरी. Coming to question number 6A. Ram purchased a second-hand car from his friend Rohan for 5 lakhs on 10th of November 2022. He paid 4 lakhs immediately and promised to pay 1 lakh later on. But he could not pay that. On 5th of January, Ram received an invitation for Rohan's wedding. He could not attend that, but he sent a check for 51,000 as a gift. Okay, he sent it as a gift. पहले के 1 लाख दिए ही नहीं थे, अभी उन्होंने 50,000 51,000 का टोकन दे दिया as a gift. When Rohan deposited a check, it was returned unpaid because of insufficient balance in the account of Ram. Rohan considered this offence under section 138. Whether Ram would be held liable for dishonor of check and whether Rohan was justified in considering this as an offence. देखो भैया, dishonor of check, where any check was drawn by a person in the account maintained by him with a banker for payment of any amount to any other person for the discharge in whole or part of any other liability. But a check given as a gift or donation or as a security discharge of mere moral obligation, illegal considerations कुछ भी हो, it would be outside the purview of this section. In case of gift or donation, basically section 138 applicable नहीं होता है. इसीलिए since he had given the check as a gift, then in this case Ram will not be held liable for the dishonor of check. Whether Rohan was justified in considering this as an offence, ये offence consider नहीं किया जाएगा under section 138 of the Negotiable Instruments Act of 1881. Okay, बाकी के आपके थियरी क्वेश्चन से कमेंट में लिख दीजिए, क्या स्कोर है आपके, कुछ भी डाउट्स हो तो कमेंट्स में लिख दीजिए. ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर द रेस्ट टू पेपर्स.